Show y'all what we got going on here. Alright, so Derek's brakes are failing on his final drives here on his 830. So we do have Jaybird here working on it. Cynthia's gonna get all ooey and gooey over all this. I don't know why she's so hot to trot about you, Jaybird. I mean, you ain't much to look at, man. I mean, it's just, you know, I don't know. Maybe the sweating or something. I don't know. So anyhow, I don't know squat diddly patootie about a brake system on this thing. I'll say this, let's say this right here. I wish I had smell-o-vision on this thing. You have done funked up 20 acres of airspace with 90 weight gear oil, Jay. Yep. I can smell that stuff inside my freaking cab. It's so bad, man. So how just kind of give us how this thing works, how the brakes work on this Joker, man.
It's hydraulic released, spring applied. All them little springs right there. When you don't have no, like when you hit your pedal that'll move,
yes,
hydraulic pressure comes in here, releases that piston.
Okay.
That when it releases it, it pushes against them springs. That
okay.
Pushes in against it, so it releases the brakes
and lets it turn.
Lets it go.
And then when you let off of it, then
when you let off of it, hydraulic pressure stops here, spring push back out, and it supplies it back against it again.
So it's going to be real close to like the spring brake system on a big truck then, similar to that.
Yep.
Other than it's working on air
over spring.
Air over springs. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's the planetary shaft that's sticking out right there. That's the center gear right there, isn't it? That goes to the planetary gears on the other side over there, right?
Which is spline right here to the brakes.
That's the same shaft that if you had to move this machine, it killed in the woods, that you would take the cover off on the other side and pull that shit. It comes out this way or it comes out that way?
Shaft is up in yonder.
Okay, shaft is up in there. So it will roll. It will roll right now if we needed it to on this one side then.
Oh
the way it is now.
Already got the springs loose.
Okay.
This part right here and the snout.
So you could do it either way. You could take the brake side of it and disengage them.
It would be easier to pull the cover off and pull the shaft out the other side.
All right, so what did you do? You know, like on a big truck, you don't take those chambers apart because you'll get killed by the springs.
Yeah.
So did you have to do something on this to release this before you could start working on it? Or?
Oh yeah, that's why this stud and that stud there is in there, and that piece of pipe that I cut off to press that back in.
Okay, so that's what you had to do to that. That's the reason why you had Brad make that tool for you to push back in there on that and release it then.
No. I got him to get me the pipe now, and I cut off this morning.
Okay.
Made that plate right there to put against it, there to push it back.
Okay, all right.
And then when I got that back, I can get the snout ring out, take it loose there, then you can pull that part back off. Now I got to pull this piston out. That's why I can get it out, then I can get to the brakes, change the brakes out, wash all that out, clean all that mess out there.
So, all right, so you got something here where you can the brakes were actually coming apart in it, right?
Oh yeah.
You got something here where you can kind of show that's just all that fiber and stuff right there?
Yeah, see all that right there?
Yeah. And it didn't hurt anything other than just the brakes, correct?
Yeah, I took the oil out the other side, drained it. All the contamination was right
there. Okay, good. Because it didn't have anything much on the magnets out of the ordinary then.
No, just a lot of that debris right there was stuck to the magnets on the plug. But gonna have to wash it out, you know, after I get all that took out.
That's right.
Cleaned up real good before we put it back together.
All right, now I'm gonna tell you now. You cannot quit ever working on our stuff unless we quit, okay? You cannot retire or anything. We're like blood brothers, brother. You understand? So that's just how it's going to be, you know? So that's just part of it. Because this is all the
everything that I took out of here.
All this in this bag is all the gears and stuff that go back
That's
in.
the motor.
The motor.
There, and all the plates and stuff to mount it back up there.
All right.
In the box has the new disc.
Okay. It's just got that one brake in there? Is that one?
No,
It's got stacked in there?
Stacked in
Kind of like a, okay.
It'll be a disc, a metal plate, a disc, metal plate, disc, metal plate.
Okay.
It's got like 4 or 5 disc brakes in there with metal plates in between them, man.
I got you.
But on these heels there, with the weight of that machine,
yeah. Because this is not our first rodeo on this right here. We've had multiple problems with this on this. As a matter of fact, they've actually changed the final drives out for us, I think twice. And then that second time, that's actually 870 final drive. But the brake system, what Jay said, is the same brake system, same size brake system.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Which it needs a larger set in it. That would solve that problem because it's kind of an ongoing.
The weight of the machine.
About every couple of years, the weight of the machine on the heels and pushing down on it, it just gets those brakes on it. So
that's why they went to a bigger motor that to help reduce that, to try to reduce the stress on the brakes.
And the reason how we knew this was happening is the other day y'all may or may not see the video before this or not, I'm not sure. But I had Jason out here and we were gonna watch Derek run, it was hanging. That stuff was getting in there and hanging and binding it up. Because I got in the machine for him and was working it back and forth, and it was hanging. It was like it was hanging in the sprocket, but it wasn't. It was in the brakes right there. Yeah. That's how we knew we were having problems with it.
And more than likely, that was a plate that the fiber done come off one of the discs.
And it was
a plate.
And got okay. So it's just metal to metal on it hanging. That's what all that mess is from. Yep. So the actual brake pads on it then, are they in this bag right here, Jay? They're not. They're just going to be a thin. Oh, there they are, right there.
Yeah.
Y'all see that right there? There's that's maybe a 32nd of an inch thick. Yep. Stopping that hole.
It's on both sides.
On both sides. Look at all those plates right there.
Metal
That's
plates
right. They go in between them.
Yeah.
It's just like almost like a clutch slip disc like on a bush hog or something. Just about it. Basically the same thing. So that whole machine is stopped. That thing ain't even 32nd of an inch thick right there. Dang it.
Runs in oil all the time.
So it keeps it lubed and cooled.
Yeah.
Because that thing, dude, can you imagine how many times that thing is setting and releasing all day long? Mm-hmm. Good God. So we had this air shipped in from Tigercat. Dad picked it up this morning from UPS. I've told y'all before and I'll tell y'all again, the name of the game to keeping this stuff. And we called yesterday, what time was it? Probably about 2 o'clock or so, something like that, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
2 o'clock, and they got this thing shipped in. It came all the way from Paris, Ontario up there, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, that's the name of the game, man, that getting these parts in here like this fast for us. We've got, luckily where we're at right now, we've moved. We're cutting right next to our land that we own over here that we're thinning on right now. So all we did was drive the 726 over here, and Derek's running on it. Jay's building this back. He's gonna build this side, and he's gonna go ahead and come over here on this right side and go ahead and pull it apart, build it too, while he's at it, because we got enough in there to do both sides. Y'all see my hand there where I hit it with the sledgehammer? It didn't break it either, by the way. So he's gonna go ahead and build this side too, and he'll have it done today. We'll be back running. So are those are springs in right there?
Yeah.
Okay. And where do y'all go to get to see this kind of stuff like this, man? This is like open freaking heart surgery right here, man. But Jay's a surgeon, man. You won't have. I would say, can y'all imagine what Jay is actually worth in money? But I'm not gonna say that because you know. Hey, what your wife's name? Her name's Janice, isn't it? Janice. She's a good looking thing too, boy. Man, Jay's got a smoking wife, man. She don't smoke, but she's smoking hot and all. So I just got to give Janice a shout out because she still watches the videos, right?
Yep.
Yeah. God, that oil stinks like God. I got in my truck yesterday and could smell that junk, man.
Yeah, that's the only thing about 90 weight.
If any of y'all ain't never smelled no 90 weight oil, go by your local parts house, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Napa, CarQuest. Get you a big gallon jug of that stuff and pop the lid. And if it's sealed, tell them you just want to smell it. And I guarantee you they'll unseal the jug just so you can get a good whiff of it. I'll be back though as time goes on. This video's already 10 minutes, but I just wanted to give y'all a good look at that because this is a cool video right here. All right, Jay has pulled the plate out there and started to pull the disc out. You see that disc right there? You see that crack? See it's busted right there? All right, when this thing was hanging up, can you see all the teeth that are gone right there? You see all those teeth? So here's the rest of the disc and the plates. Right there, they're hung. He's gonna go get another tool where he can pry them on out. Now he's got to get them on out right there is what he's got to do. And then he'll be in business. He'll be ready to start putting them back together. But she's yeah. See, they're warped. See how it's warped there. We'll get her back going here in a minute. It's gonna be hotter than the Hades of Heck, though. That's the one that was hung right there. He couldn't get out. He had to cut it with a air chisel. Get my light here where y'all can see. That's what it looks like now without all the disc in there. They're warped. They're all warped.
Yeah, that's some heat.
Yeah. So we got diesel fuel for Jay. He's fixing to work on all this and clean it up real good before he starts putting it back together.
Yeah.
So there's a motor right there, what it looks like. Jay's kind of cleaning it up. We've got some other problems with it. I've kind of got a little low down on it on the radio a while ago with Kevin. Well, we got some more gears messed up in there, isn't that what's happened, Jay?
Yeah, the ones that the brakes run on.
The gears that the brakes run on, they're just chipped up and everything. Chewed up. So we're working on trying to get some of them too. So this machine's gonna be down a little bit longer, which is no biggie because this ground right here is relatively flat. But Derek's trying to find out right now. We've kind of had an ongoing problem with this right here. And it seems like every 2 years or something like that. About 2 years. I think it lasted maybe a little over 2 years this time here, because I think February would have been 2 years. And these people running a lot worse ground than we do. And we're trying to, he's gonna try to find out what it is or what's going on. So that's where we're at with this thing. I'm gonna let this video go like it is, and then there'll be like a part 2 to it, putting it back together and roll with it, because it can actually be run right now the way it is without the brakes in it on this ground right here that we're in. It would be no different than a bulldozer or anything like that, running basically the same thing. You couldn't run it like this on steep ground though without a brake on it. It might get kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna let this thing go here, and if y'all like my stuff, subscribe to it. We'll catch y'all later. Later, Tater.